guys? It's Ben Miller, editor in chief of Gorilla Publishing. I'm back again to continue the series on how to create a comic. Today, we're going to be talking Kickstarter. So, I'm going to give you some tips and a few things that I've learned going through on all of our Kickstarters. And hopefully, this will help you be successful in yours as well.
But you have heard of me.
So before you even think about launching your Kickstarter, you need to have an audience for the project. You need to be posting about it on social media. You need to be posting art about it, what the project's going to be about, when it's coming, keeping people seeing it. And you're going to have to post multiple times because with the way algorithms work, stuff's blocked, stuff's kept from you. People might not see it the first few times you post it. So the more people see it, the better off you are ahead of time. You need to be sending it out to your email list. If you don't have an email list, you need to get yourself an email list of people that you think are interested in your projects. You need to be active on Kickstarter. Let me tell you, when somebody contacts me and says, I have a Kickstarter that I'm running, and I look and see that zero backed thing on theirs, I'm very rarely going to back their project because if they're not willing to be a part of the indie community and at least, throw a little bit of something someone else's way, then it's hard for me to want to dive in with them. I understand that everybody has financial constraints, and that's why we're running Kickstarters to begin with. But if you can kick in just a little bit on other people's books, that way, and don't just because you back somebody's book think that they're automatically going to back yours. It's not the way it works. But what I will say is when you contact the person, say, "Hey, look, I understand we're indie creators. We can't always back each other's projects, but could you share it with your fans?" And that gets you. That way, you're growing your social media presence. If you're working with an artist, inkers, you're working with a colorist, letterers, all of them should be on board with posting about the project. A lot of artists think that when they're well, that's not part of my job or whatever, and technically it's not. But the more exposure the book gets, the better it off is for the artist as well. So as artists, if you've worked on a project and you're not willing to share that project on your page, um, it shows a misunderstanding of how the business works, and that creating the thing is only half the thing, selling the thing is the other half. And the more you sell, no matter what the project is, as an artist, as a writer, as any kind of person that works on the book, editor, whatever, the higher your visibility in the industry grows. So it's always good for you to help the projects you've worked on in the past, whether it was work for hire, whether definitely if you're a part of a team that's collaborating. Everybody needs to be involved in working on sharing the project and getting the project ready to launch.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
So as you can see on our page, obviously we had some really top tier art on it. The more art, the better you have. The more art on your page, the better it is. The write up should be small, and then as many creators as you can involve, the more people you can get involved, the more people that they know, the more people that are going to be coming to your page. So when you're doing a anthology, can be really helpful. And showing different art pages. This is a must-have. Showing each reward, having some decent graphic design on the page, gives it a real professional look. It makes it possible for people to know exactly what they're getting. And it just looks good. It gives people a good understanding of what the different reward tiers are. The less people have to read, the better. So if you can show them what they're gonna get, the better it is. And for us, we always try to do something where we try to integrate drawing people into the book if at all possible, just because people pay for that. Well, and then stretch goals are key, because once you hit that goal, some people just are like, oh, well, they already hit their goal, I don't need to back it. But If you have stretch goals in there, you can offer some cooler stuff. Once you have stretch goals, like we couldn't afford to do the plush without the stretch goal, but once we hit the stretch goal, we could afford to do the plush. So, yeah, so that's just some of the cool stuff that you do with the different tiers and stuff like that. I'll talk a little.
Time to put some hustle behind this muscle.
So if you want your Kickstarter to be successful, you're gonna have to hustle. You're gonna have to grind. You're gonna have to be on it every day. It's like another full-time job. You can't just throw it up there and expect, like, there's a few guys who have big names or whatever, can throw it up there and just expect it to happen. Most people, that's not the case. You got to be reaching out, you know, ahead of time, obviously, to different, news sites. You have to be constantly reaching out to people on social media. You should be reaching out individually to people on social media. Even, you got 5,000 Facebook friends, you're gonna have to reach out to all 5,000 of them individually. You've got, different people. It's not really as easy to do on Twitter and Instagram, but you need to be reaching out to people. You need to be using Facebook groups, that are indie comic creator groups or Kickstarter groups or whatever. You need to be constantly posting about it. You need to get the other people in your team to post about it. You need to be talking about it. Once quarantine is over, you need to be in different comic book shops talking about the Kickstarter if they'll let you set up. You need to have your, a laptop or something right there so somebody can, back it right there. It's a grind. It's, a 30-day, and that's another thing. Your Kickstarter, anything less than 30 days, not really going to be that effective. Anything more, you're giving people too long of a time to worry about. 30 days is the perfect time for the Kickstarter. You have 30 days to make your goal, to hit your mark. You have got to be on it every day, constantly, constantly on it. If you see that it's not going up, you need to not, just be defeated. You need to keep reaching out to people until they're so annoyed with you that they either like defriend you or they finally back it. Because I mean, because for a lot of people, it's like, oh yeah, I'll back it, and then they forget, and then they forget. If you keep on them, and like some people might get annoyed with you, that's fine. It's up to you. Would you rather a few people be annoyed with you and you hit your dream, or would you, rather be like, oh, everybody still loves me, but now I don't have a book that's out there. It's a grind. It's the kind of thing where you're gonna annoy people, but it's something you've got to do. Self promotion, it's the biggest part of it. You've got to do it.
So, you got any money? You got your stuff?
So then the most important part is once you've been successful, once you have put in the time ahead of time to get the audience built up and ready to launch, put in the time to, send out, press releases and everything to different news sites, put in the time of, doing the hustling of once you get, the site, the Kickstarter page up and running, that are contacting people, constantly posting about it, getting other people, to post about it and share it, and, trying to branch out the more people that see it. Once you do all that, and once see yourself hit that goal, then you've got to deliver. You've got to make sure that you get the stuff out when you say you're going to get out. If there is a delay, because delays happen all the time and that are beyond your control, whether it's the printer, whether it's an artist that, maybe, falls off a little bit, or, even like a t-shirt, can something go wrong with that or whatever. Make sure you update your, because there's a way to update right there on the Kickstarter page. Make sure you're always updating, your backers. That way they know what's going on, because you want these people to come back again. You want repeat customers. And so you want them to feel as if, they are important to you. And if they ask you questions, even if it seems a little annoying, like, there's some people like the day that the Kickstarter goes through, even before the week is up and you haven't gotten the money, you're like, so when's I getting my stuff? Even though you may have said, well, it's coming in 6 months. Be patient with people. Understand that some of them maybe not be used to crowdfunding. Be patient, tell people exactly what's going to happen, take the time, because you want that return business. If something goes wrong, if something gets damaged, because you're sending it post office or however you're sending, things can get damaged, replace it at your own cost. Do not try to say, well, we're sorry, but I sent it out, so it's not my fault, so whatever. No, replace it. You want to do everything you can to keep your customers happy so they come back the next time for what you have. Because even if the book is great and you have bad customer service, there's a good chance they're not going to come back the next time. So make sure that the experience that they had with you is good. Therefore, you're going to see repeat customers, and hopefully, as you run more Kickstarters, you'll see that money start to creep up, which is what we have when we first started out. Seeing $4,000, $3,000 Kickstarters to now on our last one almost $8,000. That's the goal, to get more, to get your repeat customers and then bring in more people. So hopefully this video has been helpful. If anybody has any questions, please leave them, in the comment below. I would love to answer them if I can. Where I get T-shirts, where we do printing, anything like that. Definitely willing to talk about it with any of you. So as always, support indie comics and support your local comic book shop.